Hello, everyone. Greg Michlig here, President and CEO at CUInsight.com. And on this episode of Three Questions, it's a pleasure to welcome Marc Senatore, Product Manager of the Elan Partner mobile app. Marc, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, good evening, everybody.
All right. Well, I'm sure everyone is eager to hear about the valuable insights you have to share. So, with that, let's get to those three questions. Why is investing in a mobile app so critical for financial institutions?
Sure. So, how card members interact with their financial institutions, it continues to change. As one generation phases out and another one comes in, there's a growing trend of mobile primary and even mobile only banking today. So, to further cement that, nearly 75% of all banking interactions now happen through some sort of a digital channel instead of the old, brick and mortar environment. And so, in our case, having a mobile app that is as powerful as a website, yet as smooth on one's phone or tablet, that's a must have in today's environment to really remain competitive. And the stakes are high, right? A poor mobile experience, it can drive members away. Apps live and die by their public ratings, that websites don't have to deal with. A study came out that 57% of users are saying that they're unlikely to stay with their financial provider if that mobile experience is subpar. Next, the user experience, it needs to be seamless, right? It needs to be trustworthy and fast. Gone are the days where customers are comfortable waiting in queues. Banking and platforms, the platforms that support it, they need to be able to operate at that lightning speed. And credit unions, they must continuously refine and optimize that user experience to make sure that they're retaining members and engagement on all of these platforms.
Yeah, so you talked a lot about kind of the different types of experiences and what's important. I guess, do you have information on what types of features and experience are most important to users?
I would say our priority is always to provide an easy to use experience that makes our users feel safe and secure when banking without having to compromise the overall usability. So, this is an ever evolving balance. If there's too much friction, usage is going to decline. And so we really need to be purposeful with it. Enabling multi-factor authentication, like sending those one-time passcode text messages or biometrics so you can log in with your face. These help keep card members safe while still providing a really secure and quick experience, to get where they need to go. And then next, I would say in general, DIY or do it yourself functionality, which is that concept of enabling customers to handle everyday banking actions without ever having to interact with a human. Elon actually published a new white paper that talks about this specifically, which would be a great resource for folks to read.
Great. So there's a lot packed into just the two short answers that you've already given. Where should financial institutions start?
You know, I would candidly say a good place to start is to complete an evaluation of your current offerings. Understand where you are and identify where you want to go. So whether it's designing new functionality for your customers, improving on the existing features or offerings that you have, or even just general maintenance, from a compatibility and compliance perspective, your app should always be advancing and your credit union has to invest in these digital experiences. So, while both web and mobile development can be challenging and fast moving, having worked on both platforms, I can, honestly say mobile is particularly demanding and requires that, around the clock support if you really want to see it succeed in the long run. A mobile app that requires an ongoing investment with annual maintenance costs ranging from typically 15 to 20% of the original development expense. So this is an ongoing cost that you need to incur to really provide that best experience. And it's okay if your credit union doesn't have that internal infrastructure or budget to sustain and support this. You can explore partnerships like with Elan. A partner like Elan credit cards can really help you provide that top of the line products, that tailored mobile app technology to all your members in a white label, format branded for your credit union specifically. And I would say, Greg, at Elan, we never really pause on making updates. That's our job, right? So whether it's enhancing those existing features like I spoke about, developing brand new experiences for customers, the needs of users are always evolving. You know, to put proof of this, we invested in both our front end and back end design of our new app, and it shows, right? We have a 4.8 out of 5.0 star rating in both Apple and Google's app stores, which is extremely rare, and any app user, can confirm that. We have close to 100 card-related features in our app. We have an extensive API library, and really all of that's to ensure a seamless digital experience across our ecosystems and the credit unions as well, so that we operate as one. And we're always available to talk more about our capabilities or what the right partnership with Elan could look like for you, as well as your customers.
That's great information. Before we wrap, do you have any final thoughts for our audience? Any final asks for the viewers today?
I would just say, always look to a having the best user experience as possible. Sometimes it's difficult to quantify how important it is, but happy customers are engaged customers, and they retain with the relationships.
Yeah, happy customers are engaged customers. Love it. Well, thank you, Marc. It's been a pleasure to connect with you, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me. And a final thank you to all who tuned in for this Three Questions video interview. We'll see you next time.
Great, thanks so much. Take care, everybody.